perhaps ironic that this year the weather over the winter destroyed these two fence panels here, and you can see the footpath that runs down beside the house, because 20 years ago it was the loss of the fence alongside the house during the storms of 2000, the winter of 2000-2001, that started our gardening journey off. And this was the first part of the garden that we created. We wanted a space that was quite formal, that didn't take much upkeep, because the rest of the garden that's behind me is quite large for us, and we wanted somewhere to sit and entertain that was a long way or far away from the traffic as possible. I don't know if you can hear the road noise behind me. So we had in the spring of 2001 we had this lawn laid, the gravel put around, and the patio laid at the end, and then about 4 years later I put I bought a pergola kit and put the pergola up. What we realised was it wasn't shady here at all. That massive tree there was tiny 20 years ago, only just above the fence line, and I planted this grapevine here, which you can see now is absolutely massive. So it looks a bit of a mess after the winter with the dirty table there and the mess on the floor, but the rest of the garden serves its purpose, really. The beech hedge is lovely. We had that cut back very hard last year. It got too big. It was probably about 2 feet higher than it is now. Maybe 3 feet high actually, and it was encroaching too much in the garden, so we had some contractors come round and they just took it right back and right down. You can see now here where it's coming out, where the leaves are going. I think it's probably this year going to be quite thin, which is a shame because it is lovely when it's in full leaf, but maybe next year it'll be better. Anyway, the reason I'm here is because this part of the garden over the next 12 months is going to undertake a massive transformation. So this area here will go completely. The patio, the small patio there, will go completely. There will be a wide patio that will stretch all the way across the garden, probably about halfway down, with a bit of an apron coming out. And eventually, later in the year, there will be a large 24-foot wide by 10-foot deep glass house going at the end. It faces south, so south is behind me here. So it faces south, so it'll get lots of sun in depths of winter, which is the problem I have with my other glass house. And yeah, sorry, it'll get lots of sun in depths of winter, so it should be a lovely place. What I want it to be more like is a sort of conservatory type place. So the back wall of the glass house won't be glass, it'll be wood up to the eaves where the roof line starts. And yeah, this whole area will change completely. So there'll be no grass in this area. It'll be, like I say, sort of a patio area at the back with an apron coming out, probably similar size to that patio there, coming out that the table and chairs can go on, and then the patio bit behind can be for the glass house, and hopefully some pots, things like olives, that one there for instance, which I've just noticed doesn't look like it's doing very well, but I'd like some Mediterranean plants out here. And have a sort of almost like a Mediterranean courtyard style garden. Okay, that's it for now. I'll film again later in the year when the patio work is done, and then again a third time once the glass house is built. But you saw it here first. So the next part of the video, I just want to describe to you what I've done or had done since the last update. You can see where the patio was and the pergola at the back. That is now gone. and the grass area in the middle here is gone, and the gravel area topped up. The patio area has been significantly enlarged, and the new glass house will stand sort of in this area here. There'll be a narrow path between the hedge and the glass house, and then a narrow path along the back. I've got 3 large water butts, 1,000 litres in each, which will take the downpipe off the roof of the glass house, and they're all connected to each other, as you can see. Roughly the line of the glass house will be where the pot is there, or the back of the glass house, giving me some space to walk along the back. You can see where we had to have a section of hedge taken out, and the panel was lifted. In fact, I think on the last video, these panels were all old panels that were damaged from the storms last winter, and we had the hedge taken out to enable them to remove all the ground for the groundwork for the new patio and bring all the new stuff in. And then this is sort of an apron that will stand in front of the greenhouse here, so the greenhouse will come to a point along here, and then there'll be a sort of an apron area for seating. It's a bit sort of scrappy at the moment with odds and end pots, etc, but excuse me, it'll be a lot tidier when it comes to it. Yeah, and the back of the glass house will be solid wood, so you won't see any of this, the workings and the store area behind it. Yes, I'm rather pleased with this, the way it's looking. I mean, you should have seen from the last video, it was 20 years old, and it was looking tired. The brickwork, etc., was looking tired. So I'm glad to have it freshened up and changed the purpose of this. So we had this, if you remember, as a dining area at the back, and we've now got it as a lounge seating area. And I used an angle grinder to cut out the bottom of these 4 green pots, and filled with soil, and planted Princess Alexandra of Kent roses in. They're not at the moment all the same size. This is the largest one, and the others are smaller, but next year at the start of the season I'll get them cut to the same size, and then hopefully they'll all grow roughly the same size. But Princess Alexandra of Kent roses have a very high scent, and I'm hoping that this area being enclosed will fill with the scent during the height of summer, and smell lovely. And because the bottoms are cut out of the pots, the roots can grow down into the soil underneath, and hopefully they will grow very well. In the last video, the other thing I mentioned was the fact that we just had the hedge height and depth cut back, and I think I said I was concerned that it wouldn't grow back very thickly this year. Although now the leaves are brown, they've gone over for the winter. Actually, in the summer it was very thick as a hedge, and almost returned to how it was before. The final thing to say is we had this great big tree in our neighbour's garden at the back. The branches overhanging our side were cut off, and it's made a huge difference. Down here it's a lot lighter. If I get a side on, you won't be able to see there. And I know there's a bit of leaf fall on here, but it's really made a difference. This whole area, before it was cut back, this whole area, every time I swept, it would just get covered in leaves off the tree every time the breeze blew. But now there's very few that come down, which means the top of the greenhouse will stay clear as well. So yeah, I'm very pleased with that. And in a month's time, the new glass house will be installed just immediately before Christmas. So very excited. Well, welcome to a very bare and chilly winter garden. I say very bare. The permanent planting is still there, but it's just not my favourite time of year, the winter. But as of yesterday, I have a new addition to the garden, a 24-foot by 10-foot glass house. 2 sections, an 8-foot section at the end there, with a divider we'll see in a minute, and a 16-foot section here. I've already put in some plants, a couple of small olive trees, and the cacti that I keep in the summer house over winter to keep them winter cold, to make them flower better. And then the carnivorous plants here and here that were just outside again, getting their winter cold. I'm not going to heat it this time, this winter, to leave it as it is. But then bubble wrap it and heat it next winter. So I've already wrapped the other glass house I've got, and I'll get bubble wrapping up and find a line sort of 6 foot high across there. So I won't be heating this sort of top bit next year, but just the lower bit, and I'll leave this 8-foot section unwrapped and unheated. Got the bubble wrap ready there. I'm planning on having in here the cacti, succulents, and the carnivorous plants that will survive the winter without being heated, and have this section as an unheated section over winter. And then, as I say, keep this one at least 5 degrees. But you can see all this is new staging here, so I've got much more staging than I did before in the small glass house. And I'm bringing in one of the benches at least from the old glass house down, having the 8-foot section in there. But yeah, I'm really pleased with it. I've got 4 louver windows, which I may get auto vents for. I've got 4 roof vents there with auto vents on already. As you can see, I've got blinds there on the south side of the glass house. So this glass house runs east-west, so that is due south, so the sun will come in here, so it will get quite warm in the summer. And then I'm hoping to, well, not hoping, sorry, the plan is to have the pelargoniums I've got in full sun here, well, full sun minus whatever shading I put on, and here, and then use under the benches for the begonias that I've got, because they will prefer the shade, and also to have it as a sort of conservatory seating area, to have that during certainly the spring and the autumn anyway, that seat indoors in here to sit in and enjoy slightly warmer temperatures than I'd get outside. I do like the flooring in here, but I can see there's a big gap under the doorway there, and the floor is very cold. So I am considering getting some of that silver underlay and black tiles to put down to stand everything on and to help keep it warm. But I'll think about that one. A bit of drain pipe there, because I've got over the back, I don't know if I'll be able to see from here. No, I'm not seeing them. But I've got 3 large water collectors over the back, so I need to harvest the rain off the roof and keep that for watering stuff in here. But yeah, I'm pleased. I mean, this time last year, we had the hedge cut back to sort of reclaim the space because it was getting very tall and very thick. So we had the hedge cut back, as you've seen earlier on this video. And then after Christmas last year, I decided to have this glass house. So we had all this area out here reworked, the old grass and patio taken up and the new one laid down. And yeah, and then this was installed over the last couple of days. I've got lots of storage space around the back. It's a bit of a squash at the moment. I need to trim the beech hedge back. If I walk around here, you will see, so that down pipe there is, I need to connect that to the water tanks here. That's safe, so it doesn't blow away. But yeah, I've got lots of storage space here and the other side for pots. I need to sort out this. There's a drip coming out of there. I need to sort that out before I get too much water in there. But yeah, plenty of storage space for pots and things. Yeah, no, I'm pleased, really. I mean, it almost doesn't seem real that I've now got it after sort of 9 months of planning. I ordered it 9 months ago. Doesn't seem real now it's here. And because it's the depths of winter, I can't really bring too much in the way of plants down yet. Yeah, no, it'll be good. I want it as a sort of a bit of a plant sanctuary. I've always loved those Victorian glass houses where you get, it's sort of lush and full of plants, and that's what I want in here. It'll also give me somewhere to store. I've got 2 large olives and 1 large fig tree. That'd be my plan, to store those in here. Excuse me, over the winter as well, to try and make more of those plants. But yeah, no, I'm pleased. Bit of work yet to go on it, but happy with the overall effect so far. More updates to come. See you later and have a lovely Christmas.